The midday sun beat down on the hills and mountains of Zululand, turning the dusty path to the river into a shimmering ribbon of heat. 16-year-old Cindy, barefoot and thin, trudged along, the weight of the empty water container a constant burden. Orphaned by a freak lightning storm which struck her parents down alongside the house, she now found herself under the roof of her Aunt Gladys, a woman whose heart seemed as parched as the surrounding landscape. Cindy's days were a monotonous cycle of chores, cleaning, cooking, fetching water, collecting firewood. Her cousins, plump and spoiled brats named Samantha and Amanda, treated her with disdain, their laughter echoing like cruel music. Yet, amidst the drudgery, Cindy found solace in dance. Memories of happy days with her parents, of learning Zulu dances from stolen moments on TikTok, flickered in her mind. When alone, she would twirl and leap in the clearing behind the homestead, the rhythm of a language only she understood. One afternoon, lost in the joy of movement, Cindy didn't hear the approach of footsteps. A startled gasp escaped her lips as a man emerged from the trees. Relief flooded her when he spoke, his voice gentle. "Don't be afraid, young one. You dance with the grace of a gazelle. Where did you learn such a skill?" Cindy, her voice shy, "I learned from TikTok and YouTube," uttering those words while looking down at the man's feet that are clamped by sandals. The man stared at her with blank eyes, showing a lack of understanding what she was talking about. She then explained about TikTok and YouTube, concepts as foreign to the man, Joel, as a spaceship. But her passion sparked something in him. He revealed his cousin, Mr. Hitmaker, led an African music band and might need a dancer. Hope, a fragile bud, bloomed in Cindy's heart. Being an honorable man, Joel had to go to Cindy's family and ask for the young woman from her aunt. Joel arrived at the homestead and began to share the news with Aunt Gladys. "As I've said, your niece is truly talented. I've already spoken to my cousin, Mr. Hitmaker, and he is expecting her as soon as she is available," he said, this emphasizing with hand gestures. Gladys's face contorted with a mixture of surprise and suppressed fury. Her daughters, their faces twisted with jealousy, sneered at the prospect of Cindy finding success. When Joel departed from the homestead, both Gladys and her children raged on Cindy. Accusations of whoring were hurled at Cindy. They began by throwing her food at her. "We'll see what you'll eat today," said an angry Gladys. Not satisfied by her response to their rage, they shoved her into a dark hut, the stench of dust and despair clinging to the air. In the dark room, Cindy's belly gnawed because of hunger. She held her stomach and began to sob. Though she was hungry, it was the crushing loneliness that threatened to break her. Yet, a spark of defiance remained. The following day, they released her, but it was evident on their faces that they still hated her. They assigned Alex, Gladys's son, to keep an eye on her, fearing that she might escape. As they walked to the river, she poured out her loneliness, the memories of her past life tumbling out. On a dare, she confessed her desire for a boyfriend, a secret one. It was evident to Alex that this young woman was indeed lonely. This conversation was suggestive and awkward to Alex, who was her cousin. He did not know what to say, and she did not know how to continue with her speech. Suddenly, a beat of stunned silence followed. They both seemed distant in thoughts, Only the leaves on their path made a crunching noise. Then, seizing the moment, Cindy surprised them both. A swift elbow to the chest sent Alex sprawling. With a cry of defiance, she sprinted towards the river, the water a shimmering invitation. Alex now running after her, calling Cindy. "Cindy! Don't jump!" Gasping for air as he runs after her. The sound of his feet and the sound of barking dogs were supposed to terrify Cindy, but instead fear gave her the strength to run for her life, and she jumped into the river and swam to the other side. On the other side, she found refuge with Joel. He listened to her tale, his face grim. The next day, he drove her to Mr. Hitmaker, who was awestruck by her talent. Not just a dancer, Cindy possessed a powerful voice. A voice that resonated with the raw emotion of her experiences. Mr. Hitmaker envisioned a solo project, a platform for her unique talent. Cindy thrived. The music, the dance, it was her voice, finally heard. The raw energy of her African music performances resonated with audiences across Southern Africa. Her story, a testament to resilience, became part of the music. She also became a household name in Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Namibia. As her fame grew, so did her bank account. And with that came the power of justice. A lawsuit filed against her aunt stripped them of their ill-gotten gains, leaving them with nothing but the clothes on their backs. With a bitter twist of irony, Cindy offered them work on her newly established tomato farm. It wasn't revenge, but a chance for them to understand the value of hard work, a chance they had denied her for so long. 3 years they toiled, their labor a silent repayment for the years of stolen freedom. Cindy, however, never forgot the kindness of Joel. He became a mentor, a father figure, the man who had seen her talent when she was just a hidden ember. Joel squeezed her hand gently. "Their memory lives on in you, Cindy. In your music, in your strength. They'll always be a part of you." The sun climbed higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the savannah. A group of children, their laughter echoing in the air, chased butterflies near the baobab tree. Cindy watched them, a yearning tugging at her heart. "I want to give back," she said, her voice determined. "I want to help children like me, those without a voice." Joel's face broke into a wide grin. "That's the Cindy I know," he said. "You've always had a kind heart." And so, a new chapter began. Cindy established a foundation to support underprivileged children in rural areas. She built a music school, a haven where children could learn, express themselves, and discover their own hidden talents. One sunny afternoon, Cindy stood before a group of wide-eyed children, her heart brimming with a joy she had never known before. She taught them the steps of a traditional Zulu dance, her movements graceful yet powerful. As their laughter filled the air, Cindy knew this was where she truly belonged. Years later, Cindy remained a celebrated musician, her voice a beacon of hope for many. But her greatest achievement wasn't the awards or the fame. It was the legacy she was building, one child, one song at a time. She had found her rhythm, not just in music, but in the symphony of life itself. The girl who once danced alone in the dust had found her voice, her purpose, and a family that celebrated her journey.